Hey, what's up, everybody? I wanted to take a second and talk a little bit more about this Uncle Nearest story. I posted something just recently where I said I wanted to give a different view on the Uncle Nearest saga and court battle that's been going on, and caught a lot of flack for it, to be honest with you. There were a lot of people that thought that they're really upset about the way this thing has turned out, and I got it. This story is shaping the adult beverage industry going forward. There are a lot of things at play here and a lot of things that are changing adult beverage. Good, bad, or indifferent, they just are. But I want to point out one thing that Uncle Nearest and the brand did well. Something that they probably did better than most other brands that I can even think of out there. They created advocates for their brand, not just brand ambassadors. So they didn't just do a program that taught people how to become brand ambassadors. They didn't do a program that just taught people about the whiskey and the history and the brand or anything. They created a connection. They created a true following, a sense of ownership from their customer base, right? These people would come to events and cheer for Victoria and the family to be all a part of this and cheer to be a part of this story. And then when they left, they would not only go out and talk about this story, they would want to be the first to tell somebody about this story. They would want to be the one to be in the room that knew just a little more information than the other person. They had true buy-in to what that brand had become and what that brand was part of and that brand's story. And that's something that is the piece, that is something that I want every brand to pay attention to, and something that should be sought after and repeated, because that's what a small brand can do that these large behemoth brands can't do. And they don't need to do, quite honestly. They just need to push liquid and sell liquid. And I had a meeting yesterday with a guy who's a master of whiskey, family from Scotland. He's got some military traditions and he's very well respected in the community. And we talked a lot about this, just bouncing ideas about what we were doing. And I was telling him about how we're building something at Craft to try to mimic what was put together for the Out of Uncle Nearest. We want to build that same connection, that same community, and that same following is cult following, like a true partnership with our fan base and with our customers. We want them to be connected and invested in these veteran-owned brands and these veteran-owned entrepreneur stories. We want them to become part of it and help it grow to become even more. Because why not? What better success story than a person who left home at a young age, joined the military in service of their country, went off, completed their service, either got out after a couple tours or retired or whatever they did. But after they finished their service, they went and did one of the hardest things that it is to do, and that is start a business. They became entrepreneurs. And not only did they do something so challenging as start a business, but they started a business in the most challenging and regulated industry in America, the adult beverage industry. Whether it's any of these adult beverages, whether low and no alcohol all the way up to alternative beverages and full-blown spirits, like it is a challenging industry. It's hard. It's hard out there. And people spend tons of money forcing brands onto shelves and placement and product placement and all these things. They do all this to keep the little guys out. So Craft is out there to make sure these little guys have a voice. We want to make sure that we replicate some of that connection and that history and that story and that advocacy that people want to be a part of. And we want to make sure that veteran-owned brands don't have to go out and throw thousands and thousands of dollars at huge marketing and advertising budgets. Now, for the marketing and advertising agencies, I understand you're not going to like some of the things we're putting together either, because it may threaten some of your budgets and your lifestyle. But let's be honest. These guys, they have the story. They're the easily marketable story here. They're the easily sellable product. You just have to be able to put it in the hands of the right audiences. And Craft wants to help you do that. We don't want to fight against you and cut you out of the business. We want to do this together. We want to be a part of the same journey, sharing these adult beverages, putting these stories in the right places. So a couple things I'm going to ask the audience to do here for us. One, every time you go out, you go shopping every week, you go to the grocery store, you go buy beer at the liquor store or wherever you go. Whatever store you go to, find one way to replace one. Just one. Item in your cart, replace it with a veteran-owned brand. Support veteran entrepreneurs. And I don't care whether it's adult beverage or whether it's chips or snacks or sodas or waters or whatever it is that you want to be. There are so many options out there, and we're going to keep growing the list on supportcraft.org, listing more and more of these brands. There's other places like our partners over at Forces Brand USA that has a whole online product placement shelf for you to buy everything from coffee to gummies to anything you want. It's on their products. You can get t-shirts, you can get all this stuff. Just replace one. Take the challenge with us. Find one item and replace it. Replace one thing in your cart. If everybody in America did that, we would boost so many of these veteran-owned businesses. Second thing I'm going to ask you to do, support craft, right? Go out there. When you do the Replace One Challenge, support craft, tag us, share support craft, hashtag Replace One Challenge. Share this out there. Tell people what you're doing. Tell us that you did it. Tag me in it. Share it with me. I will echo it everywhere I can because you're doing something that's extremely important to helping the veteran community. Not giving them a handout, but supporting their growth and their brands taking on a challenging industry. And then the last thing that I'll ask everybody to do is, if you can, come down and see what we're doing. See what we're building and see the environment that we're creating for these veteran-owned brands. You can join us in Tampa at Frontline Tastings Tampa. We're aligned with Military Influencer Conference down there. It's going to be a fantastic evening. We're showcasing over 20 veteran-owned entrepreneur brands down there. Like I said, everything from low and no alc all the way to alternative. And these brands are fantastic. We're providing them tons of opportunities for a way to help grow and shape their businesses coming into this industry. So again, replace one, support craft, and show up at Frontline Tastings. You can do so much with all of that. The ultimate goal of craft still is and always will be to make sure that we build a veteran-owned shelf on every store in America. We want something dedicated to veterans. And I will ask, if you own a store, if you own a liquor store, a bar, restaurant, a grocery store, whatever, if you're a manager or whatever owner of that, if you have influence over one of the shelf spaces in those places, reach out to me. Or if somebody who is, tag them in this post and have them reach out to me and let's have a conversation. I would love to come to wherever you are and make sure that we highlight that you are supporting veteran entrepreneurs and that you have built a veteran-owned shelf in your place, and we will tag as many people and share with as many people as we can, because that's what it matters and that's how we can do something important together. So cheers to everybody out there. Enjoy your day, and just remember, even though this story may have a lot of turmoil in the whole Uncle Nearest court battles, take away what you can and learn from it. Use what you can and learn how to replicate some of the great things that they did over there at Uncle Nearest. And, cheers, everybody.